Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're into amateur radio, you know that your gear is only part of the puzzle. Today, we're zeroing in on that critical link that ties it all together, the coax cable. Let's make sure you pick the absolute perfect one for your setup.
So think about it. You've probably spent a good amount of time and maybe a good bit of money on your radio and your antenna. But what about that lifeline connecting them? You know, the quality of that one single cable can literally make or break your entire station. So how in the world do you choose the right one?
Well, the simple and honest answer is it depends. There's really no single best cable that fits every situation. It's all about matching the cable's guts to what you need it to do, where you're going to be using it, and of course, how long you expect it to last.
To really make a smart choice, you've got to understand what you're actually working with. So let's pop the hood and take a look inside. Every single coax cable is built from 4 essential layers.
Think of it like your signal's journey. It all starts in that central core. That core is then insulated by the dielectric. Then that's all protected from outside interference by the shielding. And finally, the whole thing is wrapped up in a tough, weatherproof outer jacket. The specific materials used for each one of these layers, that's what's going to make all the difference.
So when it comes to the core, the first big question you have to ask is, am I setting this up once and leaving it, or is it going to be moving around? A solid copper core is awesome for a permanent home station because it has slightly less signal loss. But, and this is a big but, if you're doing portable stuff or using an antenna rotor, you absolutely need a flexible stranded core that won't snap after being bent over and over again.
Okay, next up is the dielectric. That's the insulator wrapped around the core. Now, the most common type is solid polyethylene, or PE. It's the workhorse. It's tough, affordable, and mechanically really strong. On the other hand, a foam dielectric is lighter, more flexible, and it actually gives you even lower signal loss. So what's the catch? Well, you can damage it internally if you kink the cable too sharply.
Now we get to the outer jacket, and this is really a choice based on your local weather. A PE jacket is going to be your best friend in sunny climates because it resists UV rays like a champ. But if you live somewhere wet and rainy, a PVC jacket is way better at keeping moisture out. The trade-off? PVC will eventually get brittle and crack if it's baking in the sun for years.
So we've dissected the cable, we know all the parts. But why does any of this actually matter? Well, it all comes down to the 3 things we really care about: signal loss, power handling, and just how long the darn thing is going to last.
Let me tell you, signal loss is everything. The leaky hose analogy is absolutely perfect. The more lossy your cable is, the more of your precious signal just leaks out as heat before it even gets to the antenna. We measure this loss in decibels, or dB, and your goal is super simple. Get that number as low as you possibly can.
Now just look at this chart. This really puts things into perspective. On the 2-meter band, over a 30-meter run, a common RG58 cable loses 7.1 dB. You know what that means? Over 80% of your power is just gone. Poof! Wasted as heat before it even radiates from the antenna. Now upgrading to something like RG213 cuts that loss way down. But a professional-grade cable like LCF158, you lose almost nothing. The performance gap is just massive.
Of course, that kind of performance comes at a price. That super low-loss cable can easily be 20 times more expensive than your basic RG58. But you got to think of it this way. What is the point of buying a big, powerful amplifier if you're just going to burn off all that extra power cooking your cheap, lossy coax?
All right, let's talk about the slow, silent killer of coax cables: durability. A cable isn't going to last forever, especially if it's outdoors. Its #1 enemy is moisture, which can kick off a nasty process called galvanic corrosion. If your cable uses aluminum foil for its shielding, this is a huge, huge problem. Over time, any moisture that gets in will literally cause a chemical reaction that turns that solid metal shield into a useless white powder.
This table really just breaks it all down for you. Think about your biggest challenge. Is it constant baking sun? Go with a PE jacket, no question. Is it nonstop rain and humidity? Then PVC is your answer. And hey, if you're building a system you never want to touch again and you have the budget for it, premium PTFE or FEP jackets are the absolute top-tier choice. They're resistant to pretty much everything.
Okay, enough of the theory. How does all this apply to your station? Let's walk through a couple of common scenarios just to make this super practical.
So first things first, ask yourself this. Is this a cable that I'm going to be setting up and tearing down all the time? Or is it a permanent set it and forget it installation? Because the answer to that question completely changes your priorities.
For any kind of portable operation,
Parks on the air, summits on the air, whatever. You need durability and flexibility above all else. That means a stranded core that won't break from being coiled and uncoiled, and a solid PE dielectric that can handle being rolled up, maybe even stepped on, without getting damaged.
Okay, what about another situation that puts constant daily stress on your cable? If you're using an antenna rotor, that cable is getting twisted back and forth day after day. This requires a very specific type of construction just to survive.
Yeah, just like with portable use, you absolutely must use a stranded core for a rotor. It's not optional, otherwise the wire will just snap. A solid PE dielectric is also a very safe bet because of its mechanical strength. What do you avoid? Well, avoid solid core cables at all costs, and also steer clear of any cables that use a foil shield. That constant flexing can cause the foil to crack and fail over time.
All right, let's bring this all home. Here are the key takeaways, a final checklist to help you make a smart, confident choice that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Just remember these simple rules of thumb. Living in a sunny climate? Get a PE jacket. Living in a wet one? Get a PVC jacket. If you're using a cable with foil shielding outside, please make sure it's copper foil, not aluminum, to avoid that nasty corrosion we talked about. And hey, for that cable that's going way up a tower that you never want to have to replace again, spend the extra money on a premium cable. You'll have total peace of mind.
I'm going to leave you with this fantastic piece of wisdom from Jean-Paul Suisse. He says, if you consider the cost of good coaxial cable, it can bring you years of enjoyment. So don't save on the coaxial cable. And he is absolutely right. A good coax cable isn't an expense. It's an investment in your hobby. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that don't save on the coaxial cable.